Hey guys, it's Logan from Coaster Kids, and today I am going to be telling you my top 10 favorite B&M inverts. And I posted something on Instagram and Facebook telling people to guess my top 10 favorites, and nobody was right. So here they are right now. Let's get into the video. Number 10 is Dragon Challenge at Universal Studios Orlando. And these are the only defunct coasters on this list. And also, they are dueling coasters, but I just grouped them as one for my number 10. And they actually used to be called Dueling Dragons, and the two tracks were named Fire and Ice. But then, after the Harry Potter movies, they renamed it to Dragon Challenge, and they were Chinese Fireball and Hungarian Horntail. So it is pretty sad to see it go. Hopefully, you got to ride these coasters before they were removed. Hopefully, they replace it with something more awesome. Number 9 is Great Bear at Hershey Park. And I think this has a very unique layout. You know, usually on a lot of B&M inverts, it goes to the pre-drop and then the drop. But on this one, it goes to the pre-drop, then a helix before the actual drop. So that's very unique. And you know, it's nice how it just goes all across the park. It's very well known. And it's just overall a fun ride. You know, very fun inversions and pretty intense too. Number 8 is Patriot at Worlds of Fun. And I was actually the first rider of the season on this coaster, so that's very awesome. And I think it's very underrated. It's actually pretty intense. On the 0G roll, you pull so many Gs on that, and it's just so awesome. And it's a really fun ride. I think this coaster deserves some more popularity because it is fun. Number 7 is Silver Bullet at Knott's Berry Farm. And this was actually my second B&M invert I rode right after Banshee, and it is basically a basic B&M invert layout, but it's still a fun ride. It has 6.5 inversions. You can see it from far away, and it's just a really pretty ride to look at. Number 6 is Talon at Dorney Park. And what makes this ride pretty unique is that they actually filled up with the tracks with sand to make it quieter because Dorney Park is located near some neighborhoods. So that makes it very unique, and it's very smooth too. A very intense ride. And I also got a behind the scenes tour like under the station and stuff. And overall, a very fun ride. Highly recommend it. Number 5 is Afterburn at Carowinds. And this is a very intense B&M invert. Just because it's only 113 feet tall doesn't mean it's an amazing ride. You go through some outstanding inversions. You pull so many Gs on this coaster. And it's overall one of the best coasters on this list, and by far one of the best coasters at Carowinds. Number 4 is Flight Deck at California's Grand America. And the first day we were there, it was closed, and I thought for sure I was going to miss it. But then 2 days later, we were able to swing by there and ride it a couple times. And this is the definition of an underrated coaster. It is pretty small, but it is very compact and so intense. I don't know why, but this is just an incredible ride. There's only 3 inversions and a very short ride, but this is still an amazing ride. They packed a lot within that ride. Number 3 is Banshee at Kings Island, which was actually my first B&M invert and my first upside down coaster, which is pretty cool. And it's been open for a few years, but it is still the world's longest inverted coaster, over 4,000 feet long. And it's not that intense. It is just fun. It's very spread out. You go into the woods, and the theming is pretty cool too. You got all these gravestones in the queue, and the station is like a haunted church. And that scream at the top of the hill never gets old. It's a pretty cool color scheme too. And it's not going to break too many world records. It is just a fun ride. Number 2 is Alpengeist at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And I think this coaster is pretty underrated too. It seems to get a lot of hate, but it does not deserve that. It's a very fun ride. A lot of people say that the cover roll is the worst part because it's very jerky, but that's actually my favorite part of the ride. It is very fun. It's also 195 feet tall, which makes it the world's tallest invert. And I think this coaster is a very fun ride. A lot more fun than people say it is. Number 1 is the one, the only, Montu at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Oh, look, the top 2 coasters on this list are both at Busch Gardens parks. Take that, Cedar Fair and Six Flags. But a lot of people like their coasters smooth, but if you like intense rides, you have to ride this because it is so intense. And I love the theming for this. It has a very cool Egyptian theme, like you're going underground, then above ground, and underground again. And it is very compact too, and it is a pretty old-fashioned B&M invert, which makes it very intense. And I rode it in the middle row, and I thought it was awesome, but then I rode it in the back row, and I thought it was amazing. It blew my mind. You have to come down to Busch Gardens, Tampa, and ride this and see for yourself how amazing it is. So that's it for my top 10 favorite B&M inverts. If you want to tell me your favorites, post them in the comments section down below. And please don't tell me I'm wrong. Just because I have an opinion doesn't mean I'm wrong. It never is. But anyway, have a great day, and be brave and ride on.